About to get started, y'all.
Appreciate it, man. Cut that off. Cut that off. South of Hell, the EP coming soon, man. Look.
Salute to everybody on the check-in, man. Mafia.
I jump in the booth and go to the roof, sipping the juice, spitting the truth. You've been in Florence, I've been in them too. You've been in corners, I'm been in them too. I'm in it to win, I'm not in it to lose. Give it a spin, I'm special to you. Know your boy, I'm finna improve. Polaroid, got an image to lose. Big city, full of hatred. I don't wanna be the one they waking. I forgot I'm not y'all, I'm hot dog. Shout to Nathan, I'm sick, I ain't got the patience. Lead a room in and Dr. Bacon. Hoping this static like the nation. This pen smoke not a vapor. If I don't kill you, then my block will. Ecodonkey, Johnny Knoxville. Can't find a body, hope the cops will. Lose your chains, cause it's not real. Get annoyed, then I'm getting physical. No words, any beef, I'm killing them. Ambidextrous when I'm pulling them. Both arms at equilibrium. Any rapper, I'm getting rid of them. I'm the new school, but I'm militant. One swing, I'll put a dent in them. Cop a shirt, cause it match my denim. All your new shoes, man, I've been in them. I just wanna prove I'm the general. I don't wanna work for the minimum. Making history in this millennium. Understanding, comprehending these complications, that's an idiom. Wait, think about it. Wait. All the shit that I used to listen to make me cringe now. All these rappers with the same watch, gotta sit in bins now.
Salute
Can't
to
be
my
around all the same shit that I've been around. Nah,
I'm
can't
gonna
play
ask
around,
the
gotta put it down. I
questions,
got
man.
kids now. I'm a man, not accept the challenge, gotta leave my
I
peers
got your
now.
text message.
I was
I'm
gambling,
gonna
but this
ask the
talent had to put my
questions,
bid down. I'm the hottest thing, I'm that
That's
nigga
it,
that hit the
salute.
lid now. In high school, I was an
My
asshole,
sis-
bitches
my
give me
sis
head
sent me
now.
some questions.
I be talking to them, all the real niggas take a vibe with me. Took a while, I apologize if you rock with me.
Salute to my sister, Little Diva, man. My so crooked opinion will be back soon. Summertime, my sister outside. I ain't gonna lie to you. Man, so she getting all her trips in, man. You know what I'm saying? She booked all her trips for the summertime. So the show happened when the show happened. We got no set dates no more. Like when she's available, we do the show. Salute to my sis, man.
Shit too fucking easy,
Right.
man.
We gonna ease right out of
Them
this
fucking
one.
bars up.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? It's your man Bundles here, and we back again, man, with another one. This one is a little bit outside of the element. You know what I'm saying? We got my guy here. We've done a couple of interviews together, but this one right here, I feel like this is gonna be the most in-depth interview we've ever done. Got my guy, JERMAINE. You know what I'm saying? Power. Let's talk about it. Say name some of the other shows. What's the other show? What's that? Grey's Anatomy?
It was New Amsterdam.
New Amsterdam. My wife watches that show.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. My wife watches that show.
New Amsterdam. I've been on Law and Order, Organized Crime.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I've been.
The list
been
goes on and on.
All the Law and Orders. Yeah, man, and the list do go on and on, man. I've done movies with a movie with Megan Good. You know what I mean? Shout out to Megan, man.
How was that, man? This was around the time when she was married, right?
Yeah. I think it was like she was married, but it was like
Towards the ending.
yeah.
Heard you.
Yeah.
You ain't trying to shoot your shot.
me and Meg cool, man.
Nah, listen, Megan to me, number one. Let's be clear. When I was younger, she was my crush. I wanted Meg. I ain't gonna lie, I did.
I think everybody did. I remember I was in jail, bro, and I remember 50 came out with that 21 question joint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man.
That's what made me fall in love with her too. See, we on the same page.
Yeah.
We on the same page. Cause I was like, yo, who is that?
Yeah.
And then when I started seeing her pop up in movies and things like that, like even you know, the B2K movie, even that one, I was like, yo, this girl is bad.
Yeah. and it's crazy because to actually finally get to meet her, you know what I mean? Like I remember the first time I met her, and I'm like, damn, like this Megan Good, like you know, and I remember we had rap for the night,
Mm-hmm.
and it was me, her assistant, We was coming out the building, and it was a sidewalk, and the sidewalk was very, very narrow, and all of us trying to fit on the sidewalk. And man, I just was like, I was so nervous, bro. I'm falling on the grass and shit. She was like, "Oh no, no, oh no, be careful, Darren, please." You know what I mean? So yeah, man. But Megan, man, she's very humble, very cool, man. So,
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's hard. That's a hard aspect to find in Hollywood, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to go straight to the nitty gritty because this is something that I feel like me, everybody that follow me needs to know. What's going on with Power?
oh man.
What's going on? We getting nervous. People leaking shows.
Oh yeah, man.
The back and forth. What's going on?
Yeah, no leaks is not insightful, man. Like them leaks ain't cool, man. But I mean, like, 50 said it best, man. You know, stars always find a way to leak some shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about the leaks, but what I do um want to touch on is season 3 was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was great working with the whole cast and the whole crew. I got to meet everybody.
Right.
Damn near. I haven't met 50 yet, but I got to meet a lot of the players. You know what I mean?
Oh, 50 wasn't on set this season. Well, he's not. Well, they killed off Kanan.
Yeah, yeah. On Power, but like 50 he don't be pulling up like that. You know what I mean? He might pop his head every once and again, but I haven't seen him. You know. But,
Gotcha. So how is it working with the rest of the cast? Like, you know what I'm saying? You got Tariq. Tariq need an ass whoop, but I ain't gonna lie. Tariq, Tariq swear he the smartest person in the room, but he be making a lot of wrong mistakes, man. And it always happens. Now, I'm a Power fanatic. I love the show Power.
Mhm.
For me, I feel like Tariq's intentions be good,
Mhm.
but like in between the situation by like the third instance in the situation, he always goes left.
But
Always.
but when you look at life as a young man like that, that's how it be. Like,
You think he would be making the mistakes if his dad was still alive?
I don't think he would have the opportunity to make the mistakes
Hmm,
if his
okay,
dad, if his pops was alive. You know what I mean? Because
gotcha.
yeah, yeah, I don't think he would have the opportunity. You know what I
That's
mean?
that's what I was talking about. He was a little knucklehead. He wanted to do his own thing, and then now look at the situation. He's just getting deeper and
He
deeper
in
in the
some
hole,
shit.
and he ain't making no like. That's the thing I understand about this season.
Mm.
He's selling all these buku drugs, but he wasn't getting no money. Like how you damn near the king of New York when it come to but we ain't never seen him making no real. He was trying to swindle what 2 million out of Mecca. And then at one point when he got the other connect, he was trying to do like, why are you always scraping for paper, bro?
Hey man, eh, I could just say, man,
Real writers,
hom-
get that right, man. Stop having my man Tariq out here looking crazy.
now homie getting his paper right though. He getting his paper right. He getting his paper
Towards
right.
the end, I like the Porsche. The Porsche was ill. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I guess he probably put that in his contract. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna have me walking all
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, ain't
man.
gonna have me walking all season. But salute to that. But how did you get in tune with that role?
And I got connected with this casting company, and they submitted me to Power Production, and they asked me to send my headshot in, and will I be available to set a third? And I was
Mhm.
like, yeah. The director that was filming the first episode, he he liked what he saw, so he brought me on, and I've just been on since the third season.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Now I want to get more in depth into your acting career. First and foremost, what made you pursue acting?
Um, Acting always been with me, man, since I was a kid. You
Okay.
know,
You were doing talent shows and things like
yeah, I
that?
was doing talent shows and everything, and when I because I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, Canarsie,
Shout out
And
Brooklyn.
shout out Brooklyn. And my grandmother, she when she finally got the adoption situated with me and my little brother, she moved us down to Dillon, South Carolina. Shout out to Dillon, man. That's my heart right there, Dillon, South Carolina.
Shout out to Dylan, man.
Word up. And you know, we ain't have family down there, man, in Dillon. So I had to I just I just had to come up with some shit to be like, you know what I mean? And I knew I had some talent, but I didn't know what kind of talent it was, you know what I
Okay.
mean? But I knew I wasn't shy in front of, people like that. So one day, man, I said, man, fuck this, I need to do something. We was having a field day at my elementary school, Gordon Elementary,
Okay.
and I said, man, I want to dress up like Steve Urkel. That was my favorite character back then. You know what I mean?
Steve Urkel, man. Yo, shout out to Steve.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jamel White.
yo,
Yeah,
Steve Urkel was the man in the '90s. I ain't gonna lie.
right. Hell yeah, man. And I just I don't know, man. I just went to school, man. And my grandmother, she had some big ass bifocals, and she had some suspenders, and man, I just went to school on my Steve Urkel shit, bro.
How'd it work out?
That shit worked out. It worked out, man. That shit. I was knocking shit over like, and then I ain't do that, and just all type of wild shit. And the kids, they thought it was so funny and shit. And they was like, oh, just do say that line again, and right then and there, I knew I had something. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
That's what's up.
right up.
Now, when did you know that you could turn it into a career where it can take care of you? Like when did it go from just being a love to being like, yo, I'm really gonna take this serious and this is what's gonna get me through life?
When I got out of prison,
Okay.
when I got out of prison, um, what a lot of people don't know is that 3 weeks before I got locked up, I had auditioned for this movie called Forces of Nature in Dillon, and I had got locked up, and the people, the production called my house, and they wanted to use me, but unfortunately, I was already, incarcerated, and I always look back at that and say, damn, like that, I could have been way further, but it just wasn't my time then, you know what I mean? And but when I was in prison, I wasn't thinking about acting or anything. I was more into the rapping and shit. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I wanted to be a rapper then. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And so when I got out, I was into the rapping thing, but the acting thing, it was always in the back of my head. Like, I really want to be an actor. And man, one day I just was like, fuck this rap shit. You know what I mean? Like rapping just it was too much energy for me. I ain't got that much energy like that. You know what I mean? Like so, you know, and I was like, and then plus my mom Dukes, you know,
I was about to say because I know rapping, with the this is just from what I understand from them down south southerners and all that. They ain't really trying to hear all that cursing in their house.
yeah, that too, but at this time I was grown. I was grown, and me and my mom's, I was still trying to figure out life and
Okay.
shit. When I moved up here, I had been in
Do
a
you think
few.
that the rap put you back in a space that you didn't want to be, seeing how you was coming home from jail and rapping about certain things made you probably get that old energy and you was trying to get away from
I
that?
was trying to get away from that shit because I knew, like, I knew, like, that rap shit, I would have went right back to where I came from. You know what I mean? And you know, I know a lot of people say they real niggas, they real this, they real that, but
Mm-hmm.
I know how I am. You know what I mean? Like, and I had to make a decision and say, do I want to do this and sacrifice my life, my future? Because that's what it's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
In
Absolutely.
the rap world, unfortunately, or do I want to do this where I could just be a straight square? I don't give a fuck. Like, You know what I mean? Like I'm an actor. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like I don't gotta come through with the big jewels. You know what I mean? Like,
But see, you're acting.
mm,
You know what I'm saying, you can tell the energy that you give off in your acting. Let's be clear, you have challenged yourself. Like some of the roles that I've seen you in, just basically off of being around you and knowing you, I'm like, yeah, bro had to dig deep for that role.
yeah,
You
yeah, definitely.
know what I'm saying? And then there's other roles that you're comfortable in the element because you come from that. Um, let's start off with the difficulty roles. Like, how do a person that's been incarcerated, had to deal with COs and things like that? You played cop roles, you played detective roles where you probably had detectives in your case. How did you take your past and what you've seen as far as like the police and law enforcement and implement that into your acting for your roles?
I absolutely did. You know what I mean? Like, being incarcerated for 10 years. You know what I mean? What 8 years, 6 months. You see the same shit every day. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so I know how the police treated me
Right.
at certain moments when I was back there. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so I definitely took some of those moments that I saw. You know what I mean? And yeah, and just like reverse the role, or yeah.
That's what's up. Now, I seen you done shows with Ross and different people like that. Hold on, we might have a caller. Let me check this. Make sure it's not. Hello? Hello? Yeah, wrong call. That's all right. Y'all watching it live. Like I said, y'all gonna get all the bloopers until I polish it up. But pause. But back to what I was saying. I've seen you do shows with like different artists. We just talked about Megan Good, and I seen you did some work with Rick Ross and things like that. Let me ask you this. Being that you wanted to be a rapper
Mhm.
and now you're a professional actor and you see rappers trying to get into the acting world,
Mhm.
what's your perception on that as far as like rappers jumping into acting?
Um, my perception on that is I don't know. I really don't have no perception. I'm on type of shit like get your money how you get your money. You feel what I'm saying? Like
But does the craft have to be like for instance, I'm I'm not gonna lie, Beyonce, I love her music, but
mhm,
that movie that she did when she was the mom and all that, the acting was
the
horrible.
acting was horrible. Oh, now see, yeah. Now some rappers need to just stay being a rapper. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, and that's just the same thing with actors. Some actors need to stay acting and not rapping. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Did
so
anybody successfully transition from acting to rapping?
yeah, Drake.
Oh yeah, Drake.
Drake.
I forgot all about that
Yeah,
on
Drake.
Degrassi.
But Drake was probably the biggest one.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, Drake. But that's a hard thing to do, man. You know what I mean? Like you gotta have a great talent to do something like that and be really good and successful at it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, but me, people ask me. I just was on my man from South Carolina called me for Father's Day, and Happy Father's Day, King.
Appreciate you, man.
Right.
Thank you, man.
And he was asking me. He said, "Man, you still be rapping?" So hell no. And I say that with emphasis. Fuck no, I don't be rapping, man. I leave that shit to the real rappers. You know what I mean? Like I'm an actor, man. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm here to do. You know what I mean?
Listen, they might watch this interview later on, and when you get to the movie, the big screen with the movies and getting your own star roles, they might try to throw you in a cyber if they found out you used to spit back in the day.
I mean, it might, but I mean, they might try, but nah, I can't do it, bro. Like I gotta stay in my lane. Gotta stay in my lane, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now you talked about your upbringing and things like that.
Mhm.
Um, how old were you when you moved down south? Exactly.
I was 9.
9. All right. So you're 9 years old. You pretty much already tapped in with school. How was the transition from New York to down south? Because I know like people from the south say that people from New York talk too fast, or people from up north talk too fast, and people from up north say that people down south they move a little too slow. Like how did you transition from being a city slicker to moving down in the country?
Shit, man, that shit was hard, bro. Like when I first got down there, man, shit, kids used to pick on me, chase me around the school, all type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And and again, that's where I know, my that's where not my talent came from, but that's what made me really like just find this talent, search for this talent so I could be accepted. You feel what I'm saying? But that shit was fucked up, man. When I first moved down from New York, man, they just had Hurricane Hugo down there. You know what I mean? Shit was still like a little fucked up down there. But here I am, 9 years old, fresh from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Got the accent. I'm talking fast. You know what I mean? Probably moving a little different. You know what I mean? And the kids, especially the guys, they ain't like that shit. The girls like they would get in the little huddle in the circle and shit. Say, can you say
Who's
that word
that?
again?
Who's
Exactly.
that?
Can you talk again? We love how you talk and shit. And the guys, they would be
Oh, so that target that target.
and them niggas used to chase me around the school, bro. I'm telling you, bro, like that shit was crazy, man. Like,
I can't picture nobody chase like now because you older. You
yeah, I'm
you
older
you
now.
you,
Yeah,
you in your joint.
yeah,
Like I'm like I really like, but
yeah.
kids will be kids, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, especially if they consider you to be somewhat of an outsider, you something new, you something brand new that they don't necessarily understand, because kids is pretty much adjusted to what they see on an everyday basis. So when they get somebody like you that probably came down there, like you said, you was talking a little faster, maybe a little slicker,
Right.
and they didn't understand it, and they viewed it as a threat. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that us in the community don't really take heed to, because it's like, for instance, we'll see each other, and like the abrasiveness and the tenseness comes into play where it doesn't necessarily need to be like that,
Right, right. Yeah.
but it's conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to come up out of that and adjust to both sides of the spectrum, whether you down south or up north. Because I ain't going front. When I first met you, I'm like, yo, he from around here, right? They're like, yo, he was born here, but he really grew up down south. I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't hear it.
You don't hear it. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people tell me that they don't hear it. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because, like, when I go back home to South Carolina, it's like people like, oh, I hear the New York shit. You know what I mean? But when I'm up here, it's like, some people be like, oh, you from down south or something.
It's little snippets, but
Yeah,
for the most part, I just thought that you was from up here.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When they got explained, I said, oh, that's dope. And then once we had our first interview and you really broke down like life and things like that, like it's a definite story that needs to be told, because at the end of the day, you represent a lot of what us in the black community go through on a daily basis, from incarceration to you know different family aspects and things like that. And these are things that kids, you know what I'm saying, kids and adults, some adults need to hear. Like, you can make it up out of these situations. You can dust yourself off and make something of yourself. You don't need to necessarily be the rapper
Right, right.
or the gangster or things like that. You could take another route. So I want to salute you on that alone,
Appreciate it.
because even for me, I'm looking at it like, yo, like, I know his story, and to see him, for me to be able to cut my TV on and see the bro doing his thing, man, that's something that needs to be definitely appreciated, and definitely the highest regard for that, man. Salute to you, man.
Word up. I appreciate that, King, because I appreciate those flowers because I don't get my flowers a lot. You know what I mean? But it's not like I'm looking to get them. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just doing the work. But this shit hard as hell, bro. This shit hard as hell. I'm talking about not knowing.
Hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Not knowing because I'm still like this. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm
Yeah,
not
because you
there.
still got to try to get the roles and things like that.
Exactly. Still
Yeah.
gotta try to get the roles, and I'm still knocking on the fucking door. Like let me. I'm in, but
One
it's
foot in,
more
one foot
doors.
out, kind of.
Exactly. You feel what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this, because you know now I'm gonna get back into the questions that my sister was asking. she said, "Oh, like he kind of looked like Denzel, younger Denzel a little bit." This,
Yeah.
this, that, and third. Has anybody approached you with roles like that? Like as far as like Denzel at one point had a certain demographic of roles. Like he always played like the handsome fellow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever role it was, whether he was playing the saxophone or he was a cop, he was always considered to be the handsome fellow. He kind of had a little bit play on the sex appeal and things like that. Is that something that you comfortable in?
Most definitely, man. I feel like I could play any role. Just give me enough time, and you know what I mean, and communication. You know what I mean. I feel like I could play any role, man, because I got different I got different personalities. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
so yeah, definitely can play any role, man. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, I want to talk about the role that you did when I first met you when you played, one of the guys from the neighborhood that I was born in, not necessarily raised in, but I would come up every summer, and I kept hearing about two different people on a regular basis, from family members to cousins to people I just know. It was 2 5 and Luck, and you got to play Luck in his
It's on a short film.
bio, the
Yeah,
short
short film.
short film bio. How did you transition? I know we spoke about this before, but this is for the new viewers that didn't get to see the actual movie. Make sure y'all go check that movie out too, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the link in the bio. But how did you get linked up with Todd?
It's crazy. It's crazy that you asked me that.
Shout out to Influence too, man. That's coming out soon, man.
That's
I
right.
see the merch. They came bearing gifts. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely. So
Matter of
how I
fact, I'm gonna
linked
throw
up?
this on right now.
No doubt, no doubt. Appreciate that. So how about actually before we get into that shirt too, influence shirt.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
messed
Look,
up because I ain't bring the right hat, but
listen, when
you know,
this is the first time somebody bring a gift to the show, man. I'm gonna rock this, man. This is matter of fact, I might throw this on for the battle this
no
weekend.
doubt.
Let them get to see that, man.
Yeah, man, we appreciate that, King. But yeah, man. So how I got connected with Luck is by my cousin Tisha Thomas from Mount Vernon. Um, they were her and Luck childhood friends and all that. And she knew I was acting and stuff like that. I think this was like 2013 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she hit him up. She was like, "Yo, you looking for an actor? My cousin be acting. You know what I mean?" She was like, and Luck was like, "Who your cousin?" She sent him my Facebook and everything, and he hit me up. And I was working at this plant called Hugo New. You I think that shit on Southern Boulevard in Mount Vernon.
Mm-hmm.
And he hit me up. He was like, "Yo, I seen your work. You know what I mean? I got a lead role for you if you're interested." And I was like, he sent me the script. I read the script, and that was it. And then we just been linked ever since. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cause you about to be in a couple of his new productions and things like that. Like I said, Influence and everything.
Love and War.
Love and War.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the next movie, right?
Yeah, Love and War gonna be the next movie, and then comes Influence, or either or Influence then Love and War, but it's gonna come out. Yeah,
Nah,
we're
salute to
gonna be working.
Todd, man. You know what I'm saying, definitely a good dude. I was at his movie premiere. It was packed in there. I seen you, you pulled up in the Sprinter and all that lead and roll and
Yeah,
everything. Let's say it was definitely a movie out there, man.
it was a movie,
It was a
man.
movie, and it was entertaining. You played the hell out of Luck. I ain't gonna lie.
Right. I appreciate
There was a part when in the movie where you got shot. I was like, oh, like
that.
the energy.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I wasn't necessarily around for when that happened to him, but you gave a vivid display of what was going on in the city, in the town, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
in the town, and what he meant to the town, and just how things was transpiring back then. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I watched it, it took me back to the '90s when I was coming to Mount Vernon to chill with my cousins and things like that. It definitely gave me that type of energy. So you definitely did your thing on that, man. I salute that, man.
I appreciate it. And filming that, well, to to for starters, I only had 2 weeks. to memorize that whole script.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, 2 weeks to memorize it. Yeah, man. Yup.
Man,
2 weeks, and at first, I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't know Luck. You feel what I'm saying? So I didn't know his who he was, his demeanors, you know what I
mhm.
mean, stuff like that. So I had to, but I would be on the phone with Luck every single day, and man, by the third day, I had him like that. I had him down pat. You know what I mean? From how he talk, how yo, what up, boy? Your boss. You know what I mean? All of that. You know what I mean? Walk
That's his
everything.
yo.
You know.
It's funny you say that because when I started, I got in tune with him through my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my cousin Mac and everything.
Matt.
You know what I'm saying? And when he said it, and then when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, okay, I get
Yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah. And it was crazy, and you know what I mean. It was surprising to me that I could like pull something like that off because that was my first lead. You know,
Hmm.
it was my first lead, and um, man, that the shooting scene, that wasn't an easy scene to do.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, but that's one of those moments when you said you seen me in some moments in my acting career where I had to dig down and really get that character and that emotion out, and that was one of those moments.
I salute to that, man. Salute because I looked around the room because I was doing some production at the video premiere and everything, and I looked around the room, and the people that was actually in tune with him, like his family members, I could see it in their face that it took them back to that space. Not saying anybody was like crying or anything, but you could see like it reenacted the energy they felt when it was actually going down. And to be an actor to reenact that and get people to feel that energy from when something that happened what 10, 15 years ago,
Yeah, yeah.
that takes a lot. You know what I'm
It takes
saying?
a lot. It takes a lot, man. And you know, I'm just so happy that he had enough courage to want to tell his story. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's not easy reliving traumatic moments like that
Mm-hmm.
in your life. You know what I mean? That's a strong brother. So I want to salute my brother, Tyler Johnson, man.
Ty Luck, man.
Salute
We
you,
gotta
man.
get Luck up here, man. I got a lot of questions for
Yeah,
Luck, man. You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
Definitely, because he definitely been doing his thing for a while now, and he's giving young brothers like yourself and others opportunity to act where they may not necessarily know how to go about getting certain roles and things like that. And this right here is just another avenue to one, sharpen their steel
Mhm.
and display their work. And you never know, you might get the opportunities like my brother right here to
Word up.
be on these different shows and everything. Because you, like you just said, that was your first leading
That was
role.
my first lead. I'm gonna tell you. I remember one time I was on set. This was we were shooting a web series. We had already shot the movie, and man, I gotta salute Mech, man, because again, I was still new to this, the leading guy, and I'll be smiling a lot sometimes, man. You know what I mean? And I remember Mech pulled me to the side, and this is how I really got serious with this leading thing. And Mech pulled me to the side one time we was on set. He said, "Look, you gotta. It ain't no smiling. It's your life right here. You know what I mean? Like this, is what you want to do, right? Like, gotta be serious with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I respected him
Now
for
he's
that,
a,
man.
yeah, he's a serious dude, man.
Yeah,
He's a
man.
serious
So
dude.
shout out to my brother Meg, man, for real, man. If you watching this, Meg, shout out to you, brother. I love you, King.
You already. So, all right, now him giving you that information because let's be clear, like he was in the trenches with Todd and everything.
Hmm.
For him to explain that to you and say like, yo, this is your life and this is just that and third, that just goes into in depth of how Mount Vernon, New York was
Right.
in the 80s and 90s. Like it was real like that where you couldn't smile and you couldn't really show emotion and things like that. Um, you being a person from down south, and I could tell just in your energy, like you're an energetic guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how did that affect your day to day while you was actually filming? Like as far as like I'm gonna use Tupac as an example. People started saying that Tupac became Bishop after he played Bishop. Like he just never left the role.
Yeah.
How do you tap in and tap out to role in roles and keep your psyche intact?
Well, what, I think when I first started acting, I was a method actor.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know, bro. Like I just know how to now acting. Like I just know how to. I know it's acting. It's a job now. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like I know that I'm supposed to be here. I know I'm gonna get work, right? So I gotta take it serious, but I don't have to take it that serious. Where when lights, cameras cut off, I'm still that same person. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Right, right,
you know
right.
what I mean? So I guess just me, I guess just experience with me, just working with different people, being on sets and stuff like that, and understanding the business part of this. You know what I mean? It lets me know. It lets me know like, okay, this is work, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not serious. It's serious.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's your life, it's your career, but you don't have to be that person when you home and around your friends and
Yeah.
family. You know what I mean?
The character stays on set basically.
Yes, the character stays on set, and then when it's time to pick that character back up, you get back in that character.
Nah, salute to that. Salute to that. Cause like I I I felt like when people used to mention that about Tupac and everything, saying like like the role never left him. There's different actors that's happened. Like I can't remember the actor's name right off the top of my head, but the guy that played Joker actually
Yeah,
committed suicide
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and things like
Yeah.
that. So it's like to me, and I'm not an actor, so I gotta ask you when it comes to acting in big roles like that and everything, and like you just said, like you got to leave the character on set and things like that.
Mhm.
Does that does that help you understand life more, where you can cut things on and off, like as far as like your demeanor and and you know actors? People probably thinking like the actors are just soft guys that just be in the powder room all day chilling and things like that.
Mhm.
And they might see you in the street, and just because they see you as an actor
Right.
and they see the character, you know that you left the character on set, but you might come say, "Yo, man,
Mhm.
yo, why you did that in this movie and this, that, and the
Yeah.
third?" And you gotta explain to people like, "Yo, my man, like
Yeah.
it's just a show."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I've had to do that maybe once or twice, but not much.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not many times. But yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about. And prime example, I was watching an interview with Mikey, Michael Rainey,
Mm-hmm.
which is Tariq, and he was saying how people would look at him as Tariq and was like, "Yo, why you do this?" You know what I mean? Referring to the
I'm not gonna
show.
lie, I'm one of them. Like
You
like
went
like
on.
like when he killed his, I was mad as hell. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
after all he did for you, you gonna do that?
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, man. But I I think that as actors, and when you play such a powerful role like that, I think you have to explain to the people because they don't know.
Right.
They don't know, and
He played the hell out that role though. The fact that he
yeah,
got people like I'm not gonna necessarily say running down,
mm,
but the fact that he got people that's really like seeing him as Tariq. And
yeah,
let's be clear,
mm,
to me, sometimes, and history has shown this,
mm,
sometimes you play a role too well where it kind of hinders you from getting other gigs because all they can see is that one role that you did,
yeah,
like the Urkels or you know
typecast.
yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Like that's what happened to basically everybody on except for Eddie, everybody on Family Matters went through that.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And
They
some of the people on Fresh Prince and things like that where people
exactly.
just can't see you past that role.
They can't see you past the road. That's just like let me give you an example. Like the guy who played Tupac.
Hmm.
Like me personally, this is my opinion. Like I can't see him past that Tupac. I can't see him past Tupac. I can't see him playing a lawyer. or
Oh,
die.
that's Tupac playing a lawyer.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's Tupac playing a lawyer. This nigga's a thugged out nigga. Like, but he playing the lawyer. So I can't see Pat. I can't see it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I can't see it. I can't see that.
Is it a situation where they played the role too well?
Yeah, yeah. That's what that means. They played the role. They were exceptional at what they did, and it could be a good thing, but it could be a bad thing as well. You know what I
It
mean?
sounds like a very thin line.
It is a thin line, man. It's a thin line, man. And I don't want to be in that thin line. You know what I mean? Like I wanna give my best. I'm gonna always give my best. You know what I mean? But this is why in this new show with Luck, I'm playing a detective. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I'm playing undercover cop. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I I requested that,
Mm.
because people know I can play the gangster roles.
Right.
You know, they play the gangster roles. That shit easy. That's where I come from. You know what I mean? But I don't come from the other side. You know what I mean? So I want to show my versatility. You know what I mean, with these to these agents and these producers and stuff like that, where they can say, you know what? Well, he played the gangster role, but he also played this role pretty good. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Right. Have you gotten any pointers from actual law enforcement?
Nah, man. Nah.
Everybody might have like a cousin that's a cop. Like, yo, listen, well, how do I say freeze a certain way, or how do I things like that? No.
Nah.
So damn, you playing the hell out of that. So
Yeah. Hey, sometimes it scares me because a lot of people say, you have when I'm on set, they like, yo, you have the detective look, and I'm like, what is the
yeah, what is a
detective?
detective
What
look?
is it? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, man.
Well, you do stand firm. Like from the shows that I've seen, like even when you was on Law and Order and you was bringing the guy out. I forgot the guy's name. He was
Dylan McDermott, shout out to Dylan McDermott. That's my
yeah,
brother right there. Shout out to
but
him.
he was like a serial killer or something like that, or killing. Like, he was
Nah,
killing a couple of people or something.
yeah, but he's more like I think he was like money. He was laundering money
The
or
money
something like
laundering.
that.
Yeah.
Mm,
So when you was bringing him out, I'm not gonna lie, you did have the cop demeanor, like
yeah,
the
yeah,
chest out, holding him, bringing him down the hallway and things
yeah,
like that. Like you didn't look like a dude that was just coming off the block, or
yeah.
a dude that's
That's how I got the role. But see, all right. So what happened was I played that. That was my first time on OC, organized crime,
mm-hmm.
and that's how they called me back, because I looked the role. You know what I mean? Like, and it was
Because
a
you went
couple of
from
months
being in the tactical gear to the suit,
to the
or
suit.
right.
Exactly. And a couple of months after a couple of months after that shoot, they called me. They wanted to audition me, interview me, and they did that. They interviewed me. It was me and like three more other guys, and they picked me, man, and that's how I got that role with Dylan McDermott. Yeah.
How was that feeling when you knew that you could have been one out of the three and they went with you? What was the feeling like when you got the call?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, and I ain't trying to be arrogant or anything like that, but when you I believe in God. When you have faith
Mm-hmm.
and you walk how you supposed to walk, from the moment I stepped on that from the moment I stepped on the scene that day with my suit, and I seen who I was up against, I knew it.
You knew you
I
had it.
knew it, bro. I knew I was the guy. I knew I was the guy, man. And
Gotcha.
and it turned out I was the guy. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so.
So it's always good to know, like, when you feel like, yo, I got this in the bag, and
Mhm.
then when you solidify it, that's definitely an amazing feeling. And I'm not gonna lie, you're very humble. You know what I'm saying? You're very humble. You're approachable. You're accessible and things like that. Sometimes people get roles and they start feeling themselves a little bit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And I respect the fact that now that you're necessarily doing more national shows and things like
Mhm.
that. you still double back to where it all started. You still doing business and movements with luck and things like that. So you definitely don't forget where you come from.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. You shout out your hometown. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dylan. Like we're gonna say that again.
Dylan.
Shout out to Dylan.
I love Dylan,
You know what
man.
I'm saying?
Right.
And I see that you go back a lot and you do community outreach and things like that. How does that make you feel knowing that you could go back home and give something that is beneficial back to your hometown as far as like inspiration?
That made me feel. It made me feel good because see these are things that my grandmother wanted me to do. My grandmother, she ain't lived to see me get out of prison. You know what I mean? And my grandmother raised me well. You understand what I'm saying? And I know all she wanted me to do was be a productive citizen and be a strong man.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's just what I'm trying to display to my community. You know what I mean? It's not. I just want the people to know in my community and other communities, it's not about how you start. It's about how you
How
finish
you
this shit
finish? Yeah,
because how you start is gonna be fucked up 9 times out of 10 because ain't nobody perfect, right?
absolutely.
So
Gotta fall. Gotta fall, man.
got
Like
to.
I think, you know, people that just got it easy, they lack the morale and sensitivity that the world needs, and you gotta fall. You gotta take the bumps and the bruises that builds character that actually helps you understand who you are as a person.
That's right.
Because some people, you could have went right back to the streets when you got out of jail. You could have been out here doing God knows what and
Right.
things like that. And the fact that you said, all right, I'm telling myself that I'm not gonna go back
Yeah.
to doing what I was doing.
It wasn't easy. It definitely wasn't easy, but and I definitely had some people trying to, not intentionally, but because I come from the street. So when I
Mhm.
left, I was a street nigga.
You're
You
like,
feel
yo,
what I'm
welcome
saying?
home. Yo, we got
Welcome
this for
home.
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I had to be strong. You know what I mean? I had to be the kid, the man that the kid that Minnie Cooper raised, that Minnie Cooper wanted to see be great.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And everything I do right now is for my grandmother.
I was just about to ask
You
you that.
understand
Like,
what
do
I'm
you feel
saying?
like you owe your career to your grandma?
Facts. Because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have a career because my life my life was fucked up. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to my mom Dukes. I love her to death. I love my mother, man. Even though she didn't raise me, I love my mother. But I also understand if Minnie Cooper, my grandmother, didn't step in and step up, it wouldn't be y'all wouldn't know who Daryl Jermaine is.
Yo, salute to grandma, man.
Word up.
Definitely salute to grandma. She definitely did a hell of a job, man. Just speaking to you and hearing this conversation and seeing how you carry yourself, even though you had a small, we gonna call that a small hiccup. You know what I'm saying? We gonna call that a small hiccup. Took a little chunk of your life, you learned from it, you experienced it. So
Mhm.
salute to her, man. Like we just gonna leave it like that. Salute to grandma, man. Moment of silence for grandma, matter of fact.
Word.
Salute to grandma, man.
Appreciate it.
Definitely. Now, what's we talked about influence, you know what I'm saying? We talked about influence, but what's next outside of this entity right here? Because we know this is gonna be something special, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Luck,
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on a roll, Luck. Even if I gotta get a B roll, man, like holla at me, man.
Give him a roll up. Give him a roll,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? Put me in the background in a car or something. something. But what's in the future, man?
What's in the future, man? I ain't gonna lie, man. I want some more kids, man. I want on some personal shit. Like I want some more kids. I want to.
How was your Father's Day?
My Father's Day was cool. It was cool. I chilled. I chilled out. You know.
I ain't do nothing. I told my way. Listen. I told my, yo, Bear, yo, cut the light on. It's Father's Day.
It's Father's Day.
Yo, the dog gotta go outside. Yo, it's Father's Day.
Yeah, everything's Father's Day. I don't do nothing.
I ain't doing nothing.
Nothing.
Don't
I'm
ask me to
chilling.
do anything.
Yeah. But I ate some good food, man. I ate some good food. I had some good. It was some good company. You know what I mean? Like just chilling, man. We was just chilling, man. You know.
Now let me ask you this: with you being a father, do your kids understand the roles that you're playing? Like, do they see you on TV and be like, "Yo, that's dad"?
My kids, see, they young, so you know what I mean. But
They're
my
not
kids,
super in tune yet.
they ain't super in tune, but they have seen me on stuff, and that they, oh look, that's daddy, and they look at me, they look at it, phone, they look at me, they look at, it's you, like yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Did they go to? They in school yet?
And my oldest is in school. Yeah, my oldest in school. My the second oldest, he'll go next year, and then my daughter, she'll go. I think
Salute,
everybody back to back. You know
salute,
what I mean? So,
salute, salute. So she,
yeah.
all right. So she don't be in school and be like, "Yo, that's my dad."
Yeah. It's cool, man. You know what I mean? And another thing, that's why, I'm just really going super hard with this shit because I just want them to have the best life. You know what I mean? And everything ain't about money. You feel what I'm saying? But
Right.
I need them to understand what living is.
Hmm.
I don't want to spoil them. I want to understand. I want them to
You don't want
understand
them to
what
struggle either,
I
though.
don't want them to struggle either.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
think that's the balance that I'm in. Cause like even with my kids, like I'm not gonna lie, my son's spoiled. I'm not gonna lie.
mean?
And I didn't realize he was spoiled because I would try to give him the tough love like how my dad and the guys from my neighborhood. But I gotta understand something that I chose to know take my family out the neighborhood for a better situation and things like that.
Mhm.
And I gotta understand that my son is not gonna grow up the way I grew up, and I gotta accept that. And I'm pretty much cool with that part.
Mhm.
Is that me trying to give him the world
Yeah.
and then hearing how he talks when he's on the phone with his friends, like
Yeah.
they'll be talking about the new PlayStation game, and my son is quick to, oh, my dad gonna get that, and I'll be in the next room like, well,
Yeah.
game like
Yeah.
$100. How you just gonna
Yeah.
comfortably tell your friends that I'll get that
Yeah.
game?
Yeah.
So I have to like sit my son down sometime and explain to him what it takes for me to make these certain things happen for you. It doesn't fall out the sky. Like you see how comfortable you are to say that I'm gonna get something for you when it comes to children, and I think this is something that you probably can understand. I try to explain to my son like everything you asked me for, I probably could get for you,
Right.
but I want you to understand what it's going to take for me to get it for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to be gone for a couple of hours to
Right.
go do a certain job,
Right.
or I might have to do 2 or 3 jobs that week to get you this little extra and things like that. So yeah, your dad will probably get it for you because I don't want you to want for nothing,
Right.
but I want you to understand what it takes to get what you're asking for.
Exactly. Because one day he's gonna be in the same situation you're in, and he's
Absolutely.
gonna have to have that same conversation with
Absolutely.
his child. So,
And that's one thing too, because it's like us as men, as black men, I feel like we're in the best position right now as far as fatherhood is concerned. You know what I'm saying? Between the jail system and the drugs from the 80s and 90s,
mhm.
there's a big gap.
Mhm.
Like most guys that I know that are around anywhere between like the 30 to 40 range
Mhm.
have some type of trauma from growing up, from whether it be not having one of the other parent or either parent at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Based on the times and everything. And I feel like in this position right now, the kids that grew up in that, especially the boys, are striving to be good fathers because they
Yeah.
understand that they didn't necessarily have that growing up.
Have that. You know what? Damn, man. That, yeah, that's some good shit you just said because it had me thinking. I ain't had my mother nor my father damn near my whole life.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like so then the next question comes in like why do I why did I still have and why do I still have that emotional love? Why that unconditional love for them? Because I didn't have them my whole life.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like so it's not like they was in my life and then they got older and they passed away. You feel what I'm saying? Like they never was there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they got caught up in the
They
world.
got caught up in the world, but I understand it now. You understand what I'm saying? and I don't hold that against them because that was their life, and that's what I try to, tell my brothers and hope my brothers understand that is that we feel salty because that's just the way that's just the human way to be raised by your mother and your father. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the shit don't always play out like that. So you can't let that affect your life. You can't blame that shit. That can't be your excuse for 50, 60 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you gonna get up off your shit and say, you know what, mommy and daddy, they wasn't here. I'm gonna make a difference. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna break these chains and I'm gonna break this generational curse. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's why I feel like this generation, like I said, between 30 and 40, I think that was the generation that decided to break the chain. You know what I'm saying? Those, and we on the topic of kids and family and things like that. You probably had to go through that to be where you are today.
Facts. That's a fact because
So in the darkness of that, it's kind of like a little bit of light where it's like you can kind of like thank your mom, like, yo, thank you for help. And it sounds crazy because you like, yo, you supposed to be there,
yeah,
but then you be like, you know what? Maybe you not being there helped me get here.
it helped me get here. It helped me get here because see, once you when I was incarcerated, I asked God to show me who I was, show me who I am,
Hmm.
because I know if I know who I am, that's gonna help me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And I know I'm not like a really emotional person. You feel what I'm saying? Like I like tough love. You know what I mean? Because that tough love, it makes me get up and go out and get that shit.
Hmm.
You know what I
You
mean?
don't like to be coddled.
Nah, nah, nah. Don't be emotional around me because because it's not that I don't care, but it's just that's not my cup of tea.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Unless you're my lady, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like I got,
Now let
but
me ask you this: seeing how you say you're not emotional, I'm pull a rabbit out the hat. Would you be able to do a crying role?
yeah, yeah. But because I still got fucked up shit up here. You
Oh,
feel what
so you
I'm
could
saying?
channel that.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I'm still mad my parents weren't in my life. I'm still mad that I was locked up and my grandmother passed away. I'm still mad that my father passed away when I was locked up. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm angry about a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So if it comes to that moment, like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Salute to that, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, my boy was shooting a music video one time, and he asked me to be the emotional character. I'm not gonna lie, I messed up like 4 or 5 times. They like, yo, between me just laughing or
Yeah.
trying to brush it off, but then when I finally got it, I was messed up for like the next 2 days because I had to think about something that went on in life to make me get to that emotional point. It was like for like the next 2 days, like I didn't want to talk to nobody. I stayed. Matter of fact, I stayed in the house for like a day and a half
Yeah.
because I had already blocked something out of my head for years,
And bring it
and
back.
I had to bring it back to get to this
Yeah.
certain point of the road. And now I gotta try to re-push it back.
Yeah. Bury that shit
You know what I'm
again.
saying?
Yeah.
So is that something that you deal with when it comes to acting? Like when you try to channel certain things or certain elements, like even like with the prison stuff. I seen you play a role when you was a prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did that take you back to a space? Like did that give you an eerie feeling?
Yeah. Um, Anytime I'm doing like prison scenes and shit like that, you know what I mean? It take me back to behind the walls, and I get straight in survival mode. Whether I'm filming or not, you know what I mean? I'm getting straight. I'm like I'm re in my head. I'm reacting what I would have been doing in here. You know what I mean? Or like so. Yeah, it takes me back. Yeah.
Listen, I've never actually been to prison. I've done a couple of overnighters. I'm not proud of that shit. I did a couple of, but even like my father, my father did a dime, and when he came home, there was a lot of things that he was doing. I always tell people like this: between the age of like, I want to say from the time I was born to I was raised by Southern old women. You know what I'm saying? So my attributes wasn't necessarily super boyish and things like that. Like I was doing dishes, cleaning the house, playing cards with these old ladies and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
My dad came home from prison when I was about 11 or 12. It
Okay.
was like right before I was turning into a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand how he moved, like even down to his eating. Like he would be at the table and he keeps his arm like
Yeah, yeah,
cuffed on
yeah.
the table, and he's like, and I'm like, yo, why you? My grandmother always told us not to put our elbows on the
Yeah,
table. You
yeah,
got your whole forearm
yeah,
on the table.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
But he learned that from being in prison.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Um, his first shower home, he had boxers on.
That's crazy.
Like he was.
Damn. He, damn. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He had a bad case of it. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Yeah. So now with him helping raising me, like granted he got out of it sooner or later,
Yeah.
but he always would give me certain stories and try to base it on life. Like even like when I started hanging out with the wrong crowd,
Right.
and he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna be on cell block." I'm like, "Yo, man, I don't want to hear that jail shit." Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But now that he's not here, and me being older and realize what it is in life, as strict as he was on me, and this is why I'm so hard on my son. As strict as he was on me, he kept me out of prison. All my friends either went to jail, got shot, or died.
Yeah.
Every single last one of them.
Shout out to your pops, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
For
So
real.
definitely,
He gave you tough love, King. And you know what's crazy? And I think I told this story too. When you said when you first got out, he was in the shower with his boxers on. Shit, man. I didn't have my boxers on taking showers, but I could remember that I didn't even know how to use a bank card. I didn't know how to pump gas. You
mm,
understand what I'm saying? Like I was really like they took something from me. You feel what I'm saying? You know, and that's why I want to talk to these kids, man, before they have to experience, you know what I mean, that type of lifestyle because it's just a fucked up thing, man. Because once you go in that system, you in that system forever. You understand what I'm saying? You got
mm,
a number forever. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about your social security number. You know
mm.
what I mean? Like you got a number forever. You gonna remember that number. I remember mine 260 260 974, and you gotta say repeat that number 4 times a day.
Mm.
I've been out of prison. I've been out of prison for like 17 years, 18 years, something like that. And I still remember that
You
number.
still remember the number?
Still remember
That's
that number,
crazy.
bro. So you know what I mean? Like it's not worth doing these fucking crimes and you know, communication is everything. That's what my man Luck to always that's what he be talking to me about. Communication is everything, and that's what we lacking nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather communicate with you before we had to get busy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Cause you know what
So
it is. Nobody wants to seem like the punk.
exactly,
You know
ego.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely
yeah.
ego is definitely the number one killer in the black community. That's a fact.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact. But you're absolutely right. It's gonna take for us to not view each other as enemies. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like I said earlier, there's certain aspects where us being black men, if we see another group of black men walking towards us, we immediately get into defense mode
Right.
because we don't know what's gonna happen, and
Uh-huh.
it shouldn't be like that. And I'm gonna be straightforward. You know what I'm saying? I feel like our oppressors had 100%
Mm-hmm.
to do with that.
Oh, yeah.
A hundred
Yeah.
percent to do with that because
Yeah.
I don't see no other race that see their people and don't embrace them and be standoffish.
Exactly.
It's only us.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? It's literally only
Right.
us.
It's only us. Exactly.
And I think that comes from, the history of
Yeah.
America.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's a fact. All right, so now I got like one or two more questions for you. Um, have you ever thought about directing?
Actually, I am directing. I'm directing my documentary. You know
Okay.
what I mean? My documentary is entitled Dylan. And me and my man Eric Kahn. Shout out to my man Eric Kahn. If you're watching this joint from Mount Vernon, he's working with me on my documentary. He's doing the edits and stuff like that. And
So it's gonna be basically just based on your upbringing in Dillon.
yeah, like well, it's just basically giving an introduction of Daryl Jermaine. Who is Daryl Jermaine? Where do Daryl Jermaine come from? You know what I mean? And I have interviews in New York because I got the best of both worlds, right? Like New York, down south. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I got interviews down south, interviews in New York, and just a mixture of that. And it's basically like an introduction to the world. Like I'm coming. Like
Okay. Okay. You said this is a documentary,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's like a little mini documentary. Like a little mini documentary. It'd probably be like maybe 25 minutes, 30 minutes, some shit.
Okay. Is it gonna go from like does it start from the beginning as far as like from your transition from New York down south? Is it gonna talk about the upbringing, the childhood? Like I'm not trying to get I don't want to give too
Nah,
much away to the people. You know
nah,
what I'm saying?
we gonna get on. We gonna give them. Yeah, it got a little bit of Yeah, it starts with me being younger, and you know what I mean. You know, uh, where I come from and who my people are and stuff like that, and you know what I mean. How I got to where I'm at to right now.
And my next question is how does the family react to you acting and being on different shows? Like is it weird at the family reunion?
Man, my
Like
family be hating, man. Nah, nah, man. My family, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm gonna keep it 100. If my family watching this, I got love for y'all. Ain't nobody family perfect, but my family at first, man, they didn't. I felt like they ain't really rock with it. They ain't really support it because they didn't see it. They didn't see the vision. You know what I
gotcha.
mean? Like they just heard they just heard the talk. Like I'm about to be in this, and my mom Duke she'll be like, "Oh, Darren, he gonna be in this." And that. And so they really they heard it, but they didn't hear it. You know what I mean? So when they started seeing the visuals, like, damn, he on this show, he on that show, and he doing this. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah.
now it becomes believable. Like, all right, so he might be the one to change to to switch the family hustle and put us back on top. You know what I mean? Like so.
I think it's like that for the most part in every like us as a people is we from the show me state.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could talk to you blue in the face, but you gotta really show me
Yeah.
that you can get busy. I'm even gonna go with my brand. Is like when I first brought my brand to the table to certain like people and even certain family members, they didn't necessarily get it. They damn sure didn't get the name because it was like so crooked.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, yo man, why you
Yeah.
trying to indict yourself? Like that was like,
Yeah.
some of the comments that I was getting from certain people and friends and things like that. And then when I explained like, nah, it's the acronym or the definition of so crooked is basically like what I just said earlier. You can see me and my people and you will automatically think like, all right, they up to no good or they up to something and things like that. It's basically don't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
the company name is so crooked, but we doing this, we doing that, we be giving back. We, interviewing guys that we feel need their story to be told and things in that nature. So now it's to the point where I'm like, salute to my Caucasian fans and everything. I got them
Yeah.
talking that so crooked
So
talk. You
crooked.
know what I'm saying?
I like it. I fuck with so crooked. I fuck with so crooked, man. Like word up.
Yeah, so
We
I,
got
I
something good
definitely
going on.
understand that, man. You know, say your family, listen, man, y'all better get on the train before the train leave the station.
Y'all better get on the so cricket train, man. I'm telling you, man, because how this shit work, man. How this shit work, man, it can happen like that,
That's a
and
fact.
that's how it's gonna work. You know what I mean? Because you putting that energy into it. You putting that energy into the universe and saying, you know what, this is what I want. This is who I am, and this is what it's gonna be. You feel what I'm saying? Like so, I salute to you and your company. You know what I mean? Just for staying consistent with it. Sometimes we get distracted, but that don't mean that we giving up. You
Right.
know what I mean? Sometimes we need that distraction to get back refocused and and it's gonna be 10 times better when we refocus.
Absolutely, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
But listen, man, I appreciate you for stopping by.
appreciate it.
Definitely,
Having
man.
you, King.
Make sure y'all follow that influence.
No doubt. Influence.
Follow my man Daryl Jermaine. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get him back up here too after the after next season of Power. We're gonna get him right back up here and we're gonna have some power talk, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Word
No
up,
doubt.
man.
Catch me on season 4. Catch me on season 4. Power. I'm the top goon. And man, the road just gonna get bigger, man. It's getting bigger, man.
That's a
Word up.
fact, man.
Right.
So crooked, man. It's not just a phrase of lifestyle. It's your man Bundles. We did it again. Another one, man. One-on-one with Bundles. Till next time, man. It's not just a phrase of life.